Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we will be local plant nursery shopping at Callaway's Nursery out in Richardson, Texas. As always, please make sure you are hitting that like button and also subscribing to my channel with all the notification bell on for 1 hour plant shopping videos daily, as well as following me on Instagram at Grow Folds. But today we will be going to a Callaway's Nursery I have not been to in quite a while. And so as we walk in here, just a little bit of background for those that are new to the channel. Callaway's Nursery is a local plant nursery chain of nurseries all over the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This is where I'm based at. And to my plant foldies, though, that is what I call my viewers and subscribers. This will be a treat just because I heard that this Callaway's Nursery is one of the more full and larger Callaway's nurseries out in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. As you can see right here, they've got a beautiful water feature here. I love the sound of water, and this is something that I would love to add in my backyard at some point in my shaded patio. But look at how beautiful and peaceful that water fixture is. Really like that a lot, and that's the thing I love about Calloways. They just have such beautiful plants. Like, look at how large this white caladium is. Like, that is insane how large the leaves are. Now with caladiums, they are going to require shaded areas, bright indirect light. These definitely cannot be out in full sun. They are perennials in most growing zones. I know I'm in grow zone 8B, and these would actually grow back year after year. And you can see there are some more caladiums right over here. So for those that are curious how large caladium leaves can get, you can see that they can get very large, and there are so many different varieties of caladiums. This location, at least from the first impressions I get, is got some beautiful plant displays. Like, look at this right here. Look at how large that caladium is. Like, it is huge. Now I think of caladiums as a more colorful version of an alocasia. They kind of have similar growth patterns and also grow from bulbs or tubers. And you can see here, look at this. Beautiful displays. Mother's Day is just around the corner, so they've got a lot of the florals out. And you can see here, I haven't seen these indoor azaleas or Azalea Simsii featured at Calloways, but I'm glad that they have these here. These are for $29.99, so it's a little bit more pricey than what you would find at a local grocery store like Kroger. I would say most grocery stores carry these indoor azalea or Azalea Simsii. Now the care tips would be they need to be in more cooler areas. You definitely want to make sure that you water these regularly. You never really want to let the soil dry out completely. That is how I ended up killing my Azalea Simsiis. Unfortunately, I bought two, but they were only for $6, so it's not that big of a loss. It's just that it's a little bit sad that the azalea that I had actually had sport variegation, but you can see how beautiful the blooms are here. These would make great Mother's Day gifts, so if you're looking for an indoor azalea, you can definitely go to Callaway's. Now this Calloways is really close to the Plants and Planters local nursery. So if you haven't seen my Plants and Planters local nursery tour, please check out that video. Again, I do daily 1 hour plant shopping videos, and hopefully if you are watching this live during a live premiere chat, you will say hello. Shout out to all of my Canadian plant foldies and those that are just regulars that come on to my live premiere chats every day. And you can see here, this is another Azalea Simsii. I really like that pink variegated bloom here. Now with azaleas, they do require more acidic soil conditions. I happen to love azaleas. They remind me of Japanese gardens. Now these particular Azalea Simsii should not be planted in a landscape. These are really meant to be grown in containers and indoors. They just are not as tolerant to like fluctuations in the weather, whether it's super hot or super cold. But you can see these are in full bloom. And somebody has asked me, do these actual azaleas rebloom? Yes, they do. They may rebloom again once they're done with their blooms. I definitely want to try this again. It is another type of plant that I want to try to grow. I just have to take some time. I just know that my routines around watering plants is not the best. I am what you considered an underwaterer. So for a plant that really needs to stay moist and wet, it's one of those plants that I just don't think I need to be putting in my houseplant collection. But as you can see here as I pan out, look at this beautiful display right off the bat. I do love going during the weekdays because there's not nearly as many people to have to dodge when I'm plant shopping. But I did want to just take some time to show you all of the beautiful flowers, all of the outdoor flowers, all the outdoor plants. Like, look at this. Isn't this lovely? Please make sure you are hitting that like button for my video if you're currently watching this. It definitely helps my channel. If that's one way that you really want to support me, is just by making sure you're hitting that like button. But as you can see here, Callaway's Nursery has so many different locations. This one happens to be the Richardson location, and this is one that I don't really frequent as much because it's further down south from where I'm based at. I'm more in the North McKinney, Frisco area, Prosper area. So this is a little bit further of a drive for me. It's about a 25-30 minute drive, but it's definitely worth it because you can see all of the beautiful flowers that they have here. And today they actually have all these hanging baskets on sale for 20% off. But as you can see here, let's just admire all of the beautiful flowers that we're gonna walk through. As you can see, we just walked by a beautiful purple petunia, and then look at this beautiful hanging basket of wax begonia with purple blooms. Right next to it, we've got some vinca flowers, so those all can take full sun. And as I pan over here, we've got even more beautiful white vinca flowers. These are good starters, and these are actually pretty vigorous in growth. What I like about vincas is they can take full sun and they're very drought tolerant, which makes it great for weather like Texas, where it is super hot. We get 100+ degree weather for the summer. And you can see here, these are sun patient. I love that this is in a hanging basket. It's my first time actually seeing a sun patient in a hanging basket. Look at those variegated leaves, and I love the fact that it's a variegated plant but needs to be in full sun. So definitely provide it with a lot of light. It's not going to burn. It's actually hybridized to where it can tolerate that hot weather in full sun. So I really like that a lot. And it's just interesting how flowers and just different types of plants have been propagated, hybridized to have certain characteristics, and I really like that a lot. But as you can see, I've just been walking through tables and tables of beautiful plants. I love this particular Callaway's nursery. Actually, all Callaway's nurseries that I've visited are super full. Their staff is super friendly, and for those that don't live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, if for some reason you are visiting, I would highly recommend going to any Callaway's nursery. You'll be able to find some amazing plants. Like, look at this, the flower of the hour, and that is petunias. Petunias are just all over, and they make great plants. And you can see that is a whole table full of annuals. And what that means is if a plant is labeled annuals, those are plants that will grow a full season but will eventually die off, and you'll have to like replant them. But see, we've got some gazanias, we've got some cosmos, we've got some petunias, and all of these starter planters are for, I believe, $9.99. These are in these large containers, so I really like that a lot. These are garden stars. They definitely are a star, and just look at all of these beautiful flowers. They come in different colors and varieties, and you can even see right over here, we've got even more zinnias. I happen to grow zinnias from seeds, and they do very well. And you can see here, we've got a large yellow marigold. Marigolds are really great to plant around your vegetable gardens, as well as because they repel certain pests like aphids, and it's just a natural pest control, and it's just a natural companion plant if you're going to grow like herbs and vegetables. But you can see here even more beautiful marigolds and zinnias, and these are all compatible to be put in a full sun flower garden. Look at this gorgeous hanging basket of a lantana with a variegated potato vine. Love this. I actually bought a variegated potato vine because I love pink plants. Anything pink variegation, pink plants, pink anything, I am all about. And as you guys have gotten to know me, my plant foldies, you already know that I have planted a bunch of lantana in my outdoor space. I have yet to really show you guys a lot of my garden and my indoor space, just because I'm a little bit shy. So I'm also going to remain faceless on YouTube for now because I'm a little bit shy. But you guys have been such a friendly bunch of people that I've gotten to talk to daily. I look forward to actually showing you guys these plant shopping videos. I think what makes it interesting is we do have a community that continues to grow, and I can't thank you guys enough for always tuning into my plant shopping videos daily, and then also welcoming those that are new. So if you are watching this video, please say hello during the live premiere chats. I also encourage everybody to leave comments, if even just a little comment about what plants you liked, what you want to see, anything of that nature. I really want to make sure that the engagement continues to grow with the channel. And over here, we've got a Coleus. This is for $9.99. Look at how beautiful this leaf is. Now with Coleus, these are Coleus plants that will have larger leaves. These can get up to 3 to 4 feet in height and width. So these can get very large. Now with Coleus, I haven't really found one that can really grow in full sun. Most Coleus plants really require to be in shade or just bright indirect light, filtered light. Otherwise, their leaves will burn. I have been on a Coleus obsession. I have been collecting all of the Coleus that I've run into, and I will say most nurseries, especially Calloways, continues to have many varieties of Coleus plants. So we'll see what kind of Coleus plants they have. And then we have some brochoa, or what I would call as a more of a miniature version of a petunia. Look at that hanging basket. Now, a couple of things I will recommend for hanging baskets is obviously you want to water your hanging baskets a little bit more frequently, just because it may not retain the water, especially in full sun conditions. And then over here, I have found some more Coleus plants. Now, these are the Coleus flamethrower series. Now, this particular Coleus can be grown in full sun, so that is always a plus. Now, if you give a Coleus plant more light, it's going to have a better coloration, variegation. And so these Coleus plants that are called Coleus flamethrowers, they have different varieties. That one is the red version. This one right here that I'm about to pick up is one that can also grow in full sun. This is the Coleus flamethrower spice curry. Love that yellow curry looking tone that it has on the top of the leaves, and in the undersides has that nice burgundy color. Coleus plants, it's very interesting plant. I never really thought about growing Coleus plants as an indoor plant, but they are so versatile that you can grow them indoors, outdoors, and even propagate them. Like literally, I have tripled my Coleus plant collection because I've been doing a lot of propagations through cuttings. And as you can see here, we've got some more plants. We've got some canna lilies, and look at this whole table full of colocaceas. Now, colocaceas are similar to alocaceas. They definitely want to grow in bright indirect light. Some of them can take full sun. They come in different varieties, shapes, and sizes. I like these. These are called the cornerstone foliage. I believe these are all for $16.99. So if you want to go plant these in the ground, you definitely can. In my grow zone, these are considered perennials, so they will grow back year after year. Now, Calocacea are a little bit more challenging to grow indoors. The same thing with caladiums, just because they go through a dormancy season. And if you're going to grow them indoors, you definitely want to provide a lot of humidity, because these plants are definitely more susceptible to spider mites. I would say bringing a Calocacea in, or even a caladium, kind of compromises their health a little bit, which makes them a little bit more susceptible to pests. But if you do want to grow these indoors, you definitely want to provide it with a lot of bright light, bright indirect light. Spray them with neem oil if you need to, just to make sure you repel spider mites. They are quick to attack these. Like, look at this beautiful Calocacea mojito, one of my favorite ones. And you can notice that these leaves will get very large, and Calocaceas will also push out little babies because they also have corms, so they will self-propagate, and you can separate them from the mother plant. But what a beautiful day it is. It's nice and sunny, and with all of this beautiful natural light hitting this Callaway's nursery, it's just fun to take you alongside with me as I browse through plants. You can see that is another hanging basket of wax begonia. We've got tons of zinnias. So these zinnias are actually more of the dwarf form. They stay a little bit more compact. They're not as tall as the typical zinnias. I love how they have them arranged by color. Just very organized, and I will commend Calloways. That's the thing about local plant nursery shopping as compared to going to big box stores. You'll get more diversity in a local plant nursery like this right here. Look at these beautiful pentas right here. Look at that beautiful flower. Now this one would require full sun. Most blooming plants will actually require full sun because it just requires more energy for the plant to produce the bloom. But big box stores may not always have the staff or the interest to really merchandise their plants. And you can see right over here, I'm drawn to Coleus plants. This is a Coleus Glassworks Royale. This will definitely be a Coleus I will be purchasing today, just because it's a beautiful pink Coleus, and I like this as well. I'm thinking that I'm going to be able to like propagate from this, get multiple cuttings. I definitely want to grow some in a tree form. So what I'm going to do is let it get tall, take the bottom leaves off, put a stake, and just let it grow to the height I want to, and then trim the top to actually encourage more branching. That's what I want to do here. And with these Coleus plants, these are only for $7.99. Not a bad price at all. This is a Coleus coral candy. Now this particular Coleus coral candy can take full sun, so that is a plus for me. Since my front yard faces the south, it gets the most intense light, and I would be able to grow this just out as a nice curbside appeal flower or bush. And you can see right over here, look at how beautiful that pink is, pink and purple, and it's got that edge where it's got the green around it. I am excited that some of my plant foldies that I've actually gotten into Coleus plants, you know, we talk about plant YouTubers or plant influencers. I don't really consider myself that. I am just really surprised that more and more people have subscribed to the channel and have really started the following, because I do feel like I just ramble on about plants for an hour. But you know what? If that means I'm keeping you company, if that means we're all just enjoying looking at plants together, then by all means, I will continue to do plant shopping videos daily, at least 1 hour for y'all. And you can see right here, Coleus Glassworks Golden Gate. I actually bought this a little while back. I've noticed that this one is a little bit more of a slow grower as compared to some of the other Coleus plants. That's the thing about Coleus plants. They are very vigorous growers. And I've said this in every single video. There are certain criteria for me that makes me like a plant more so than others. And that would be plants that are a little bit lower light tolerant, plants that don't need to be watered as often, plants that are vigorous in growth, and plants that are easy to propagate. If you have all 4 characteristics like these Coleus plants, then I can do that. The only thing that Coleus plants don't have in my criteria would be they are a very thirsty plant. So I don't really water my plants as often, and I'm guilty about that. But that is really the only disadvantage about Coleus plants. If you don't water them and let their soil dry out, they will definitely shrivel up and even crisp up and die. So I already know in the summertime, I'm going to have to water them early in the morning and then late afternoon after that intense heat goes by. But you can see here, we've got some New Guinea impatient. So impatient flowers are flowers that are really meant for like shaded gardens. I recently just went over to my mother-in-law's place, and we ended up planting some Japanese maples, and her area has some really large live oaks. But I thought about, what kind of plants could be grown, and that would be like azaleas, impatiens, different types of gardenias, those types of plants. Now, these plants that we're looking at would definitely not work for her space because she gets a lot of shade. These are all-star annuals, and these are only for $2.99. Look at all of these beautiful zinnias and marigolds. So I know that a lot of you guys are really more so into the indoor house plants, like the tropical Aroids, those philodendrons, all of those plants. But since it is spring, late spring now, I still want to feature all of these beautiful outdoor plants. One thing that you'll have to know about me is any type of plant really brings me joy. I love outdoor plants. Love vegetable gardens. I love herbs. I love rare philodendrons. I love common plants. I like bonsai. I love, succulents. I'm starting to get into succulents. So you'll get a lot of that content from me. And this is actually one Coleus I'm definitely going to buy. This is another Coleus, Festive Dance. This is a beautiful Coleus because I haven't seen one as large as this in terms of the leaves. I would assume this is another type of Coleus. Notice that there are some blooms already starting to sprout. I'm going to definitely cut those off because I want to encourage more leaf growth versus actually growing blooms. Whenever you have like a Coleus plant growing blooms, it actually slows down the production of plants, like the production of leaves, I'm sorry, because it's putting a lot of its energy to reproduce and actually create blooms to make seeds. But I will do that. I will allow some of my Coleus plants to definitely bloom later in the season so I can collect seeds. I'm really excited to just be able to grow more Coleus plants. Like this one right here is another Coleus Royal Cherry Brandy. This is a proven winners Coleus plant. Now this one is also for $7.99. That is not a bad price at all. And I will say most Coleus from proven winners have been hybridized to where they can take full sun. This one can also take full sun. So I'm really excited about that. Love that deep red color. This would make a perfect plant. It looks like it'd be more compact in its growth. So I'll be able to grow that indoors. I have really shifted my attention to Coleus plants. I love aglaonemas, but the thing about aglaonemas is it's an easy to care for plant, but it's not as vigorous in growth as a Coleus plant. And right over here again, Coleus Glassworks Golden Gate. Look at how beautiful this one is. These are in those quart planters. Really like that a lot. And that's the thing about my Callaway's nurseries. They all pretty much have the same types of plants, but I will give the Richardson Callaway's nursery right now, they've gotten a lot more diversity in terms of even their Coleus selection and the way that they just have all their tables organized. What a phenomenal job. And that's the thing about looking at plants and just plant shopping. Sometimes just the merchandising, like look at this incredible Acer Palmatum Bloodgood. Look at how beautiful that is. I love Japanese maples. I will say Japanese maples, it's another world of like plant collecting. We'll get into that a little bit as I continue to make more content. But look at this. This is a Coleus Split Splash by proven winners. Beautiful Coleus plant. This has more of that mosaic look about it. It's not quite a Kong. You can see that it can get larger leaves as well. And I just really love the color. So some people might find Coleus plants a little bit jarring, a little bit too in your face when it comes to the colors, but I like that. That is what I like, you know, that eclectic, colorful look on the foliage. I think it's beautiful. But then again, if you really like plants, I think it doesn't really matter what the cost is for the plant. Sometimes the most cost-effective, inexpensive plants will bring you the most joy because they are not so finicky. Coleus, Maryland's Magic, another interesting plant by proven selection, proven winner. I don't know if this one can take full sun, but look at how beautiful this one is. It's got a different type of leaf shape. Again, you can literally chop up this Coleus, even stick the smallest cuttings into soil or water, and it will root within a week. Like that is how vigorous and easy it is to propagate Coleus plants. It's a lot faster to root than even an Epipremnum aureum pothos. So for me, especially if you are a plant foldie that lives in the United States, I might actually send some Coleus propagations to you. I might do some more giveaways, which brings me to another thing. I am doing a giveaway for a Monstera Thai constellation, a free Monstera Thai constellation in a 4-inch planter. The actual giveaway ends on May 18th. If you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Growfold. Find the specific reel that I have the giveaway for, like it, tag 3 friends on Instagram, and you are entered for that random drawing. Right over here, we've got a Coleus fishnet stockings. Now, this is one of my first times really running into the fishnet stocking series. Look at how beautiful that is. I love that it's more round, but the veins look like fishnets. And even the undersides of the leaves. This is a beautiful Coleus. I'm definitely going to buy this one as well. This is my first time actually running into this particular Coleus at any Calloways, and I'm loving it, loving it, loving it, loving it. So I would assume that this one also can take full sun. Look at this one right here. It's got even more purple tone to it. So you can see that there's even more diversity and even the coloration of the specific Coleus plant. Love that that wasabi green look about it. It's definitely a plant I would buy. That one is for $7.99. So for my local Dallas-Fort Worth plant foldies, how often do you visit Callaway's nurseries, and which is your favorite Callaway's nursery? This is probably in my top 3. I would probably dub this as probably the best Callaway's nursery alongside the Callaway's nursery off of Highway 121 in McKinney, Texas. But this one right here, look at these beautiful geraniums. That bright red is just very simple, but what a beautiful bloom. And you can see just rows and tables of hanging baskets here. Another thing I will say about hanging baskets, not only do you want to water a little bit more frequently for hanging baskets, you want to make sure that you are fertilizing your hanging baskets a little bit more frequently as well, because a lot of the nutrients will get washed away and the plant still will need some nutrients. And then right over here, we have some delphiniums. What a beautiful plant here. This is the first time I really run into them. This one is for $12.99. Beautiful plant. And what is a huge plus for a delphinium is it is a perennial, at least in my grow zone 8B. Gosh, there's just so many plants. So plant foldies, let me know what you guys think. I love hearing your thoughts. I have been recently creating Instagram reels. I really hope that you guys can create Instagram accounts. I am actually focusing a lot of my attention on Instagram. I love my YouTube channel. This will be my main media source. I'm also planning on actually creating a Facebook account for the Grow Folds community. I have a lot of things in store. And right here, these aster flowers, beautiful lavender blooms again. Really love that a lot. And then I already have this one right here. What a beautiful Coleus plant again. This one is for $12.99 in a 6-inch planter. But you can propagate from this and probably get another 4 to 5 new Coleus plants. And then it literally, once you cut a Coleus plant, give it a week and it's already going to have some new growth. Actually, when you cut back a Coleus aggressively, almost down to the base, it will get super bushy and full. I don't have the plant ID for this particular flower. I do find it interesting. This one also is for $12.99. Look at how beautiful that purple flower is. And I really like the blooms of the flowers. So I am also another person that loves flowers. You know, if I can just have a whole yard with like huge shade, areas that have full sun, I would grow different types of gardens. Like I would grow a rose garden, I would do a flower garden, I would do an herb garden, I would just do it all. I think when I actually retire from my very intense job that I currently work at, I would like to retire and just have plants. Like I would definitely still be doing YouTube. And if you guys are still around supporting me, I would do YouTube plant shopping videos, but I would also possibly work at a plant nursery. Who knows? But what I do know is plants are always going to be a daily routine for me. I know that plants have really made my mood just a lot more less stressed when I'm looking at plants and sharing them with you. But you can see here, look at these beautiful Coleus plants. Like I know that I would say the last 3 weeks I have just really been talking about Coleus plants. Now if you want to see some other plants, please leave that in the comments. But again, you know, this is the YouTube channel where I feel like I can just be my authentic self and really just share what types of plants I'm into, whether it's really a niche plant or whether it's really a trending plant. For me, it's all about just showing you diversity of plants. Like zinnias hold a special place in my heart because zinnias have been flowers that I've grown over the years from seed, and I could just have like rows and rows of them in my outdoor landscape. Literally, you can throw zinnia seeds, throw some dirt over it, water it, and a week later they will sprout, and they're pretty self-sufficient. They're okay in terms of like being drought tolerant as well. And over here, tons more of hanging baskets by Calloways. These are all for $29.99. These are hanging baskets of different types of begonias and then more Coleus plants. So these are starter Coleus plants for $2.49. I already have this particular Coleus right here. So as you can tell, I have pretty much wiped out every single variety of Coleus plants that Callaway's Nurseries offers. And I have actually ordered more Coleus seeds. I'm going to be putting down the Black Dragon Coleus seeds, that really deep purple one. And then all of my Coleus seedlings are doing very well. They just kind of sit on my dining room table under a grow light. I probably need to start trying to separate them into pots, but that's going to be another undertaking. I probably germinated close to 60 seedlings of Coleus plants. They were super easy to grow. And then you can see here we've got some Boston ferns. I haven't really been a fan of ferns. I just feel like they require too much water and humidity, but I am a fan of these beautiful wax begonia hanging baskets. I actually had got one at Walmart. It happened to be on clearance for $5. It's got white blooms and is doing so well. It's right next to my bird feeder, but you can see these are beautiful wax begonias. So I'm thinking, would I be able to grow wax begonias indoors once the season gets cold here? And then here are some more sun Coleus. So these Coleus plants right here for $2.49 can be grown in full sun. So if you don't really have a lot of shaded areas, you can still grow Coleus plants. Like this one right here is one of my favorites. This is another sun Coleus right here. Really love the fact that the variegation comes more so from the stem. and it just kind of like, it looks like a splot, like it just bleeds over into the actual green leaves. So I really like that for $2.49. What a beautiful Coleus plant, and you can really multiply them. I wish there were more Coleus groups in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I would totally join it. If you are a plant foldie, let's go ahead and create a Coleus like following. I really hope you guys can get into that. But as you can see here, what do you guys think of all of these beautiful flowers? I'm showing you some more zinnias. Look at that. Can you just imagine having rows and rows of different type of zinnias in a flowering flower bed? It might be a little bit late in the season for me to grow zinnias. My favorite type of zinnias would be the candy cane peppermint zinnias. They are the red and white variegated zinnias. They're so beautiful, but I have been finding a lot of zinnia breeders, and I've seen some really cool looking ones from some zinnia Instagram accounts. So it's interesting how I can find different types of plants, different types of content on Instagram. Like, I didn't realize in Europe, for instance, Coleus plants are called palette leaf plants, and they are very much into hybridizing them and really growing them in their indoor space. So that's something that if you aren't on Instagram, I would encourage you to create an account. That is one way to get in touch with me directly. And over here, some more Coleus plants. Now, these ones are for $34.99, but look at how beautiful this is. Look at how yellow this Coleus is. You could probably get more than a dozen new Coleus plants. Like, you can chop this up down to the base, and within a week or two, it'll pretty much get full like that again, and you'll have more plants to give up. I am definitely going to be giving some Coleus giveaways. I'm going to be trying to grow Coleus as a bonsai form. There's just so many varieties I'm going to do. Like, this one is another one for $12.99. This is a Kong Coleus. So the only thing about Kong Coleus is they wouldn't really be good plants to try to grow as like a bonsai, because their leaves are less dense. But you can see this one, like, look at how full this is. I actually propagated a bunch of these particular Coleus plants. I'm not sure what the plant ID is for that, but what a cool looking Coleus. And then here's another kind of Coleus. This is another Kong Coleus, but look at how deep the foliage is, like that deep color. And then we have some more Kong Coleus right over here. This one's a small one, I believe, for $6.99. But, you know, give it about 2 to 3 weeks and this will get large in size. Really love the look of it. And again, Coleus, I'm just surprised that this is the year I really have paid attention to Coleus plants. Like, look at this one right here. What a beautiful Kong Coleus. I have seen certain plant foldies and viewers get into Coleus plants. I want to see if any of you guys will actually grow those indoors. And then I don't have the plant ID for this, but this is such a beautiful plant as well. When you touch the leaves, it's got a very soft velvety texture about it. And look at how just ghostly white it is. I really like that as well. It would make great contrast with something as bright as like a Coleus plant. And I'm just going to keep walking around here. So the majority of this plant shopping video, I'm just going to feature mostly like the outdoor plants that can be grown indoors. And you can see here another Coleus. This is a Coleus Special Effects. Beautiful plant here. What an interesting looking one. This one can take full sun or shade. This one is for $12.99. What a nice looking one. I already have this one as well that I'm growing and hopefully going to be able to propagate, but there's just so many colors going on. And then this is another Main Street Coleus plant. This one is for $12.99. Look at that. Look at the coloration on it. It's got some beautiful speckling. And it's exciting because you can literally chop up this Coleus and you can get several free plants, probably up to 7 new Coleus plants from that as well. To my plant foldie Alfred in Canada, thanks for sharing your Coleus propagation update and just buying Coleus. I hope that you'll keep buying Coleus. I would suggest buying the Coleus Campfire because look at how beautiful this is. I've seen this at Walmart now, and it's nice to see that it is in a local plant nursery like Calloways. And you can see right here, this is that black cherry, chocolate covered cherry Coleus. I really like the look of that as well. I love pink plants. I love purple plants, red plants. They are plants that I definitely gravitate to when it comes to like plant shopping. But what a nice looking Coleus, like Calloways. I keep saying Coleus, Calloways. You see where my head's at, but look at how beautiful these hydrangeas are. Now these hydrangeas are on sale for 20% off. Now I love hydrangeas, but again, hydrangeas will not really work in my landscape because I don't get enough protection from the afternoon sun. They need a little bit more shade, but look at that. So beautiful. And you can see those red wax begonias in a hanging basket. you know, flowers just bring such a beautiful statement in any type of outdoor setting. Hydrangeas are another flower that I would love to grow. They remind me of Japanese gardens. And with hydrangeas, they definitely need more acidic soil. So if you want to make your soil a little bit more acidic, one way to do it is actually taking coffee grounds and actually sprinkling the coffee grounds on the top of the soil. The reason why you want to make the soil a little bit more acidic is because if it's an acid loving plant, it will be able to take water and nutrients a little bit more efficiently, which actually impacts the growth rate. And then over here, we're going to take a look at some of these indoor tropical plants. As you can see, they've kind of transitioned to more indoor tropical plants as it gets closer to the actual storefront. Ficus lyrata over here, and then this isn't necessarily an indoor plant. This is a Hawaiian cordyline tea plant compacta. So notice that this is in a 6-inch planter. This one I believe is for $12.99, and it's more of a compact, smaller dwarf variation of a cordyline tea plant. I love cordyline tea plants. I love the different types of colors. This one right here is for $16.99, but look at how beautiful this is. This is a cordyline kiwi. I've seen this at Home Depot in big box stores, but look at how beautiful the coloration is. The only drawback about trying to grow a cordyline plant indoors is they are highly susceptible to spider mites when brought indoors. But if you grow them in full sun outdoors, they will get you some beautiful colors. I would love to be able to grow more cordyline plants. I have the cordyline pinstripe and the cordyline red Hawaiian tea plant. I would like to get a kiwi to be add to my collection like this, but I didn't realize that Calloways actually sells them. And the good thing about Calloways is if your plant doesn't do well or you're not satisfied with the plant, you can return the plant, no questions asked, as long as you are part of their garden rewards program. I've been with shopping at Calloways for a good 5 to 6 years, and they just have some amazing plants. Here is some dracaenas, large dracaenas right over here. Underrated plant, one that I think everybody should get. And then right over here is a Hydra helix. This one is for $6.99. I actually bought a Hedera helix, that's the correct way to say English, ivy, at Callaway's. Unfortunately, the one I bought, I did not water it for 2 weeks, and it ended up getting spider mites and dying very quickly. So this is another Hydra helix. And for those that are asking me why I pronounce it that way, well, when I first started doing plant shopping videos, I was mispronouncing it. It's supposed to be Hedera helix, and for some reason, some of my plant foldies, you guys really enjoy it. I've kind of pulled it back a little bit, but just know that Hedera helix is here to stay. And you can see here Epipremnum aureum jade, and then we've got an Epipremnum aureum enjoy pothos. This one is for $6.99. What a beautiful looking pothos. Actually, it's not an enjoy pothos. This is a pearls and jade because it has some more variegation that's a little bit more speckling, but beautiful plant, one that I would recommend. It's an easy to care for plant. And then look at this massive Ficus lyrata or fig leaf tree. That one requires a lot of bright light. So if you're going to grow it in an area that gets a lot of light. And also do not move your ficus plants around. They like consistency. I say this in every video, but once you get your fig leaf in a spot in your home, don't move it around, otherwise it will get unhappy and drop leaves. And then right over there is a Dracaena limelight, beautiful Dracaena. That one can take very low light conditions and doesn't have to be watered as often, which makes it an easy to care for plant. Because if you're like me, who is a little bit more negligent, not on purpose, because we've got very busy lives, those are the types of plants you want to put in your space. And then as you can see here, more plants. Now this one is an interesting plant. This is a Amidria medium silver, beautiful plant. This one is for $39.99. This is a plant that definitely needs to grow up a totem pole, a moss pole, in order for the leaves to get large and to fenestrate. Now the term fenestrate means the leaf will actually split and create holes. That's just a lot of these tropical aroids or tropical plants that you see. But what a beautiful plant. It has that same sea blue pothos, like silver bluish tone. I like that. And notice how that if it doesn't attach itself to a pole, the leaves get smaller and then they start to just shoot out runners. This is another plant that not a lot of people grow. I think it's because it does need to grow on a totem, and sometimes people are not into having to maintain a totem. For me, if I'm going to grow a plant that needs a totem, it's because I really want to get the larger leaves, the fenestrations, but some people may not have that interest to do that. Now here are some variegated string of hearts in a 2-inch starter. Now these are for $9.99, so like the big box store definitely wins when it comes to buying a variegated string of hearts, because you can buy that for $12.97. I've been able to find them at Walmart and Lowe's. I'm sure Home Depot will carry them. And then this one is another type of plant I will grow. I can't pronounce the name, but it's basically the green version of a red blood leaf plant. The red blood leaf plant is one that I'm going to definitely buy soon, because it's as vigorous of a grower as a Coleus plant. And you can see here a variegated Ficus benjamina. That one is by Proven Winners. And what else do we have, my plant foldies? As you can see, walking around Calloways almost looks like a, like a little urban jungle. You notice how there is just so much space, and you can see all of these hanging baskets. We've got some staghorn fern. We've got some philodendron heteroecium cordatum. These green varieties are beautiful. Those are all for $29.99. We've got a philodendron heteroecium Brazil for $12.99. We've got another crate hanging basket of anthurium clavonariums. I think beautiful one as well. I don't have a lot of anthuriums. Anthuriums are very interesting, but the thing is with anthuriums, they're a little bit more of a challenging plant to grow, because they require more humidity and just special light. And then you can see here another full basket of syngonium. This one is for $29.99, but look at how full that is. Now syngoniums are one of my favorite plants to grow. Actually, a syngonium white butterfly was my first indoor tropical plant that I grew when I think I was like 6 or 7. We actually grew it in the bathroom, and for some reason it still survived, even though there wasn't really a window and it didn't get as a lot of light. But as you can see, more plants. And then right over here, Calloways has bonsai plants. So I actually love bonsai. Bonsai are another art of plants that I like to go invest in. I actually create my own bonsai. About 2 to 3 years ago, I was making a lot of bonsai, and then I kind of fell out of that niche or obsession. But I may return to it. It's just, bonsai do require a lot of care. Here's an Alocasia frydek for $16.99. A lot of people are getting into variegated Alocasia. That is probably the trend of the 2024. And then this is some type of philodendron. I'm not 100% sure what this philodendron is because it's not labeled, but this one is for $34.99. I do love yellow plants. I think they're amazing. I think this might be actually the philodendron orange marmalade. I'm not 100% sure, but notice how pale the yellow is. That is a result of sun stressing. So it looks like it got way too much light, but that's not bad at all either. I actually like that pastel yellow look on that philodendron. Philodendrons are another plant that I like to grow. For the most part, philodendron typically have the same type of care tips. Bright indirect light, make sure that you don't overwater them. So you want to water them when their soil is about 70% dry. Most of them will require some type of totem, unless it's this type of philodendron where it more actually stays compact and spreads. And you can see over here we got more philodendron. That's a philodendron hope. And what else do we have here? So like philodendron hope, I see this actually a lot at big box stores. This one is for $16.99. Really like that as well. Even though it is just a basic green plant, I just love greenery as well. And you can see here, philodendron summer glory. This one is for $19.99. I actually like that bronze satin look on this particular philodendron. It's another easy to care for plant. This is another plant that can get very large as well. And you can see over here, we've got some mandevilla trellises, mandevilla flowers, and then we've got a bunch of hydra helix, and we've got some Swedish ivy. So these are the Swedish ivy. Love Swedish ivy. Very quick growers. And this one is just a green form. I actually have the Swedish ivy white edge. I featured that in one of my plant shopping videos, some of my personal plant collection. And you can see here, we've got another Swedish ivy, but it has like a purple underside. Swedish ivies are so easy to grow. They can be grown indoors. They are easy to propagate. They're just easy. And then you can see right here, we've got some more ground cover right here. This is similar to a Tradescanthia. This is a purple heart plant. So I've gotten the variegated boat lily, which has pink variegation. I grow these in full sun. They get the best coloration. And then we can see right here, we've got another Tradescanthia. That one is just Tradescanthia velvet. Really love those leaves. Tradescanthia are very easy to grow as well. You can grow them outdoors in a hanging basket or indoors as well. And you can see it is summertime. Summertime is approaching, and hibiscus are in. Hibiscus are tropical plants. In my growing zone, you couldn't really grow them in the ground unless you want to grow them as an annual, because they will not survive the cold winters. And then we've got a bunch of assorted types of cactus and succulents. We've got a bunch of Callaway on the right side of that table, and just many other plants that we're just going to walk by here. Here's another philodendron summer glory, beautiful plant. And then we have a philodendron goldie eye here. What else do we have? We've got a philodendron Paraíso verde. So the interesting about Paraíso verde is the variegation is actually influenced by the climate. So in hotter or more heat, it will actually get better variegation. And a philodendron tortum right here. I ended up getting a philodendron tortum at Lowe's. Actually, it was a Trending Tropicals by Costa Farms. Super exciting. We'll see if I'll be able to grow this philodendron tortum. It looks like a very fragile plant, but needless to say, I love that as well. And then we've got some lipstick plants right over here, hanging baskets of lipstick plants. That reminds me of a Hoya. And then for all my Hoya lovers, I will try to find Hoyas here, but as you can see, there is a Hoya for $26.99. This is a Hoya carnosa, and you can see some of the leaves are a little bit more sun stressed. That means that the leaves have gotten more darker, got pink variegation. It's because it got a lot of light, and that's what I love about certain plants. When you sun stress them or give them more light than they really need, it gets to the point where they're not necessarily burning, but they definitely get some different coloration. Ficus triangularis, braided form, beautiful plant. I bought one of these and made it into a bonsai. This one is for $29.99, and actually mine is doing extremely well in its bonsai. I was able to actually take some of those cuttings and propagate them in water. They actually rooted, so that's super exciting. I am all about propagating plants, because who doesn't want free plants? Like, I think free plants is basically the best way to save money on plants. You can go broke, like myself, going plant shopping daily. So sometimes it's better to just take propagations or propagate your plants, trade with people for cuttings, or just even share cuttings or propagations with each other. So for the plant foldy community, maybe we can do a meetup where we can do a plant swap or plant trade. There's just a lot of ideas that I want to do. I will say I want to meet up with some of you plant foldies that live in the Dallas-Fort Worth area at PlantCon International 2024, which will be in Dallas on August 31st, September 1st. I'm so excited because I went to the PlantCon in Houston a little while back, and they had so many cool, rare, uncommon, common plants. It was just a plant paradise. And for those who haven't been able to watch that, it's an hour-and-a-half long video where I feature many vendors. So definitely check out my PlantCon 2024 video. I intend to go both days in Dallas and film hours and hours of footage, because it seemed like you guys were really into that. And you can see I'm super into Aglaonema red Siam. Aglaonemas are my favorite plants as well to grow. This is a plant you will see at a big box store or any store that actually carries house plants. And you can see there is another type of Aglaonema. I am not 100% sure what that plant ID is for that Aglaonema, but what I can tell you about Aglaonema, they are as easy to grow as this Dracaena limelight right here. They can tolerate lower light conditions. You don't need to water them often, and they're just an easy plant to grow. Right over here are some Ficus elasticas. So these are Ficus elastica taniki. Love the look of this. This is a plant you can buy at Trader Joe's though for $12.99, and you can actually save some money. But I grow my Ficus or rubber tree plants for full sun outside, and they grow very quickly. They do require a lot of bright light, and the thing about it is, say you were to buy this Ficus elastica ruby and cut the top off, this would actually branch out and become more of like a tree form. These can actually grow very quickly as well, especially if you give it a lot of light. It is a thirsty plant, especially if you grow them outdoors, which is what I am doing. I'm growing them outdoors, and they're doing fantabulous. And you can see right here, Ficus lyrata or fiddle fig leaf trees. Those require a lot of bright light as well. As a rule of thumb, if you are growing any type of ficus plant, just know they will require a lot of bright light, and they require consistency. And what I mean by that is you need to find a spot to put that actual ficus plant in and leave it there. Make sure you are watering them consistently on a schedule. And then over here for $89.99 is a Monstera Thai constellation in a 6-inch planter. Now I know that big box stores like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot have been releasing these. But if you are wanting to get a pretty good specimen Monstera Thai constellation, you can go to Calloways and notice how the green Monstera deliciosa is got such a cheaper price. This one's for only $16.99, but you can see how beautiful the Monstera Thai constellation is. What I do appreciate about the Thai constellation is the leaves and the variegation are stable. So even if you give it lower light conditions, it's not going to revert as compared to like a Monstera albo. So beautiful plant. I was able to find them at Kroger for $29.99. I am doing a Monstera Thai constellation free giveaway. So please make sure you are following me on Instagram at Growfold. Tag as many friends to that particular Instagram reel, and you'll have more chances to possibly win a free Thai constellation. And then over here, some more Monstera deliciosas. I actually bought a Monstera deliciosa at Walmart because I wanted a larger form for $24. And then I potted up one of my Monstera deliciosa propagations. It was about 5 rooted propagations that I literally left in the garage under a grow light all this time. So I felt like it was in, plant prison, and it's finally in my living room under a beautiful grow light. So hopefully I can get that Monstera to size up. It's on a moss pole, and I will feature it during my houseplant houseplant tour. So if you want a houseplant tour, plant foldies, you've got to hit this like button. You've got to leave comments, and we want to try to just grow this community. Please help me out, because look at this. All of these beautiful snake plants or Sansevieria, these are the bird's nest fern. You can actually separate this and get about 4 different snake plants. Another plant that is super easy to grow. I would just recommend any type of Sansevieria or snake plant, do not overwater them. Less is definitely more for that particular plant, and that's the reason why it makes it easier. And you can see we've got some assorted succulents here, some string of raindrops, and just different types of hanging baskets. All of those right now, when I was filming it, was 20% off. And then we've got assorted succulents right over here. I wish I knew more about succulents, but honestly, I say that in every video. I probably just need to study the plant IDs. People ask me why I'm so knowledgeable about certain plant IDs, and that is a result of me just looking at plant IDs, learning them. I learned a lot from my grandmother. If you don't know about my grandmother, but my grandmother is basically the reason why I am into plants. I kind of took after her. As a child, I was always the one that would just watch her tend to her garden, and I just learned a lot from her. Like, she's the reason why I have a plant, obsession for Coleus, because I remember visiting her. She had like 3 Coleus that she started out from 3-inch planters, and by the end of the summer, she had a whole back patio full of Coleus plants in like 6 to 8-inch planters, just full of them because she propagated them so much. But anyways, I digress and go back to all of the plants I'm featuring. I swear, plant foldies, I am just shocked again on how many of you guys really tune in to listen. I know that I've gotten some feedback where sometimes you literally just turn on my video and listen to me talk, and I am super honored and humbled. You guys care enough to just listen to me talk about plants, and I hope that I continue to bring you guys some joy to keep you company. If you feel like there's nobody around and you just want to hear somebody talk about plants, binge watch my videos. I have a lot of playlists that are already curated, so if you want to just watch my videos and just listen to me talk, by all means, have at it. And this is a hibiscus. I want to buy this hibiscus tailwind. Look at how beautiful that variegation is. I'm not even really concerned about the blooms. I just like the fact that this can take full sun, and it's got pinks, it's got whites, it's got cream variegation. I have one variegated hibiscus, and that's a hibiscus salsa dancer, but this one has more white and pink variegation. This is absolutely stunning. Now this one is for $69.99. It is a little bit more pricey. And the thing about it is, if I were to buy this hibiscus, I would have to find a way to overwinter it because I can't leave it outside. Again, I am based in North Dallas, and we get freezes, sometimes snow, and it's just not going to work out for the winter. And then over here, we've got some wax begonias. Again, wax begonias are everywhere. I would honestly say go to a big box store to buy your petunias and wax begonias. If you're wanting to save a little bit more money, that's the thing. I'm going to be fair on where you should buy your plant, or where I would suggest. Now, if you want a more interesting petunia, for instance, I would pay the $29.99 for that hanging basket, because it's not only super healthy, but it's a unique type of petunia. Sometimes at big box stores, we pretty much see the same types of plants that are sourced out from like Costa Farms, Growers Bench, Altman plants. So it's nice to be able to see Calloways. And I did notice that most of my videos get more views when it's a big box store, but I would hope that you guys would be open to looking at these local plant nurseries out in Dallas-Fort Worth, because then you'll be more exposed to what is available potentially at your local nurseries. And you can see here Begonia Rex. So somebody asked me, and these are all for $16.99, how big Begonia Rex can get. Notice how these have such large leaves. They can even get larger than this. And what I love about Begonia Rex is they come in so many different varieties. Like, look at this one. I almost want to buy every single one, especially the red one. Now with Rex begonias, what you want to do with Rex begonias is you don't want to water and get the leaves wet, nor do you want to get the stems wet, because it can rot those away. The way you want to water your begonia is to bottom water them. So basically take a container, fill it with water, and then stick the pot in it so it could just suck it up. That's the easier way, to where you don't have to worry about getting the leaves wet. But getting the leaves wet is not a good idea for Rex begonia. It's the same thing with African violets. African violets need to stay moist, but they don't like to get their leaves wet. And then you can just see here, look at all of these beautiful Rex begonias. This one's actually in bloom. That's interesting. This one is for $16.99. They are labeling these as tropical begonias. Begonias can be grown outdoors in a shaded area or indoors year round. I have 3 Rex begonias, and they're doing okay. I don't do very well growing begonias. Now my grandmother, she is a pro at it. She can actually like grow these, propagate them, multiply them, and then yes, she actually ended up giving me a begonia maculata that she propagated. So I got a free plant from her. Yay to me. And then you can see right over here syngoniums again. This one is for $29.99. That is in a 6-inch planter. We've got an Epipremnum panatum Cebu Blue. This one is for $16.99 in a 6-inch starter planter. It's already trailing, so you can propagate them. Love Cebu Blue. That is a plant that is endemic to my home country. That's where my family is from, the Philippines. I say this in all my videos. I am a super proud Filipino. So any kababayans, you can leave comments to me in Tagalog. I will respond to you in Tagalog. I'm not the most fluent, but I'm definitely one to celebrate my Filipino culture. And you can see again that red Rex begonia is amazing. More begonias here. I just love the metallic shine of begonias to these Rex begonias. So plant foldies, leave it in the comments if you grow begonias, Rex begonias. What do you think of them? I love them. I just know that they're not the best plant for me to grow, just because I haven't had the best luck of like actually getting them to grow a little bit more vigorously. But as you can see here, what a gorgeous nursery here. I wanted to show you these. So these are fuchsia hanging baskets. So these flowers look like little lanterns. Look at that purple and pink combination. This one is for $26.99. Let me know in the comments if you grow these. I know I see these a lot at like big box stores, but they look so cool in a hanging basket. And then just the combination of this hanging basket next to the violets, purples, blues of these gorgeous hydrangeas. Like, this is just a little plant paradise. The video that I'm doing doesn't really justify how magnificent this looks in person. So if you ever visit the Dallas-Fort Worth area, if you're not a local Dallas-Fort Worth person, definitely check out Calloways. I would recommend this. Calloways is probably the best one, because you can see they've just got so many different plants here. This one is for $12.99, or I think, no, not $12.99, $14.99, these caladiums in 6-inch planters. I have 3 caladiums that I bought, but I am tempted to buy more caladiums. And you can see here more wax begonias. Gotta love your wax begonia hanging baskets. I am just super surprised that I never paid attention to begonias. I didn't think they would grow for just the blooms. And this one right here is for $7.99. I would actually buy this because this looks like a colorful syngonium. Look at how beautiful that is. Now with caladiums, if you're going to grow them indoors, they need bright indirect light. Make sure that you don't let their soil dry out completely, but don't overwater them because they are quick to root rot. Just think they are growing from bulbs, and you don't want to rot the bulbs. But look at that beautiful red veins on it. Like, these are stunning. And so if you want color like me, Caladiums are another plant that I would recommend. Now, I saw some super cool hybrids from like Indonesia and Thailand. There's one that I want to get. It's called the Caladium Pink Symphony. It is a beautiful, very delicate looking pink caladium. And then you can see those those wax begonias. That red bloom is stunning. And then these hydrangeas, like I just wish I could grow hydrangeas. And then you can see right over here, there is another table full of caladiums. Now, not everybody's into caladiums, but I'm sorry, I love caladiums. So I'm gonna show you what plants I truly love. I just feel like it's really important to, you know, have a YouTube channel or at least content that you are passionate about. I don't really want to like chase certain trends. Some people may make content where it's like, okay, you know that everybody wants this particular plant, but you're not into it. So I'm going to show you plants that not everybody may like, but I love them. So I'm going to show them. Like this right here. Look at this caladium. You gotta love this caladium. Look at that red vein right there. Now all of these caladiums are ranging from $2.99 for the smaller ones, and then you can buy the ones in 6-inch planters for $14.99. You can see that they have them arranged to where all of the red ones are here, and this one's a really unique one. This almost has like an orange tone about it. These ones are only for $2.99. So like literally you can buy one of these, repot it in a planter. And what I like about caladiums are they will return year after year, especially if you store the bulbs again. Now, if you're going to grow them from bulbs, they won't start to actually germinate and like pop up until like early summer in Texas. They need warmer climates. And then just like all those caladiums, and look at that red, that very scarlet cherry red blooms for those wax begonias. And I just can't get over all of these beautiful caladiums. Look at that. Isn't that stunning? I think I want to buy this caladium. All of the caladiums I have so far are doing very well. I planted them in 6.5-inch planters. They are in a shaded area, and I would love to possibly just grow some in the ground. Like I can grow them under the canopy of one of my trees at the front because it stays shaded. But you can see caladiums are everywhere. These wax begonias are everywhere, and my plant foldies. I will continue to just show you all of these beautiful plants. Again, all of these hanging baskets, when I filmed this, was 20% off. I'm surprised that I didn't end up running and buying them. And then you can see here more petunias. That is the flower of the hour. Look at all of this. I love the purple and then just a white edge around it. That one is for $6.99. And you know, petunias kind of remind me of like azaleas, how they've been hybridized and how they have different types of patterns for their blooms. But my plant foldies, I really hope you have enjoyed this Callaway's nursery. I know that I featured a lot more of the outdoor type plants. Just remember, any outdoor plant can be grown indoors. It just really requires a little bit more effort. I've been, experimenting on certain ones I'm going to try to grow indoors. This one, you can't go through a plant foldy grow folds video without seeing a bromeliad. Look at this beautiful bromeliad. It looks like somebody just spray painted colors on it. What a gorgeous bromeliad. I have one that I got for $2.49 at Kroger on clearance, and it is doing amazing. And you can see, look at these cranes, those decorative cranes. I really love that a lot. And then Cortland Hawaiian tea plant, just a red version. So if you haven't checked out some of my origami videos, please check some of my really old content. I would love to hear from you guys and leave comments on that. But as you can see, Richardson, Texas, Callaway's Nursery. Probably the best Callaway's nursery in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. We'll see if I can check out some more Callaway's nursery. It's one of the largest ones, and I just love their decorations, the way they've displayed their plants, the diversity of their plants, the health of their plants. I haven't ever really seen large caladiums like this. I hope everybody is enjoying their Saturday. I know it's Mother's Day tomorrow, so shout out to all of my mothers on Grow Folds, the plant foldy community. As always, please make sure you guys are hitting the like button. I really need your support when it comes to that. And to anybody who wants to support me, you can also drop a super sticker, which is a tip. This is Richie at Grow Folds. Please subscribe to my channel and make sure the notification bell is on. I'm definitely have some more videos throughout the week. Join me at 7 p.m. tomorrow. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.